And welcome to the UK's weekly market roundup. I'm Abdul Hamid. I'm the founder of pivotinvestor.com. It is Sunday, 17th of January. So we've got the usual format for you again today, which is for us to have a look at the broader market, the FTSE 100, look at the previous 5-day most advances and decliners, and then we'll wrap up with a scan on pivotinvestor.com. Today we'll be looking to scan the market, looking for stocks which are breaking the previous year highs. So we'll have a look at that. But first, let's go over to the FTSE 100. Looking over here at the weekly chart, it was a subdued week. Didn't really get to test the previous week's high, but does look like it has managed to still close above the previous week's mid price, which is at least some positive sign there. Still in this uptrend. If we just go quickly into the week daily chart, rather, we can see here that price failed to hold above the R2 monthly pivot, which I always say it's a really challenging resistance point, this R2, the monthly R2 pivot. So failed to hold above that, has retraced, and now has seemingly found some support there, which is the blue line, which is the previous month high. It also coincides this month with the R1 floor pivot, so that should hold. But if it doesn't, we could see some price go lower, but it's given we have a confluence of two levels, the previous month high and the R1 should act as strong support here. But initially we'll be looking for a retest of 6887, that R2 monthly pivot, and if it manages to close above it, we're looking for an initial target of 6960 followed by 7094. So we'll see how the price action develops on that one. Now, in terms of the this week's advances, so stocks that have gone up significantly over the past 5 days this week are 5 of them, which I'm showing this week. AGM, Applied Graphene Materials, up 60.22%. AD Stobart Logistics, just shy of 60% there. Destiny Pharma, almost 40% move. Novacyt, back in action again, up 25% this week, and AAA pulling in a gain of 20% this week. So we'll just head over to the charts for these stocks and have a look at them over here. So we've got first AGM, Applied Graphene Materials. Looking over here at the daily chart. So there's the that monthly R2 pivot which we were talking about earlier. If price managed to get above it and close above it and hold there, it normally acts as a catalyst for much further price advances, as you can see with AGM over here. So huge move up there. In terms of levels up above they could potentially target. Now the next level is actually the yearly R2 pivot. With AGM, we're trading way above the last 2-year highs at the moment, even 3 years. Last 3-year highs have been taken out this week alone. So the initial target is small. It's just to 79.6 as the next level to watch for this one. Perhaps get some kind of retracement. So I want to before we potentially see higher prices. But if it does manage to continue over here, 113 is an important level over here, and then we could find ourselves potentially back into this channel potentially over here. So something to watch over the next few weeks But first, 80 is the next level to beat on that one. Next one was ESL, Eddie Stobart. This is still on the weekly chart over here. So after having that drop in the last week of the last week, looks like it, last week in 2018, 2019 rather, we saw a rather subdued trading period during last year. We're in this channel over here, and it looks like this week last week's price was still very much in that channel, and this week we managed to pop out of it and just closing above it ever so slightly there. If it does hold and we get back up R1 over here at 1620, we'll be looking for a target of to the R2 pivot at 23.80. So on the weekly chart, I'll just switch over to the daily chart over here. We can see here that we're trading that blue line, previous month high. Price crossed over that high earlier in the week, managed to get above that R2 pivot, and price just accelerated from there. So we'll see. 1380 is a key level. Price comes back into this channel, there's a risk of price going back to the bottom of the channel. So long as we hold above 1370, there's potential for further upside on that one. Destiny Pharma, to clear on this one that I'm actually was a buyer on this one, and I'm still holding actually. So on the weekly chart, after last year's push near the tail end of last year, again that R2 pivot, price went then retraced, opened this year with a bit of a bang, comfortably closing above the yearly central pivot there, and also very comfortably getting to the next level at R1, above the previous year high, which we have a closeout this week for. So higher than the previous 2-year high now, where we're at with the Destiny, above this key level over here. So the next level we're really watching is the 155 level. As long as it managed to hold above this 113 level, 1112, 113, we're watching that going forward for that one. Let's go back to the daily chart. You can see here, pretty much from the beginning of the month, really at the turn of the year, we broke above the previous month high, shot through the R2 pivot, and price has just skyrocketed from there, breaking above the previous year high there at 113, which was a high that Destiny made in October last year. So racing through there. So want to watch still for further price action going forward. So next one on the list is NCYT. Just switch over to the weekly chart on NCYT. So this was one of the success stories of last year. There's a huge price movement from 4 pence, something, all the way at its peak. It reached a high of £12.70, and we had that infamous day where the vaccine news was announced, and we rapidly saw a huge decline in price, but also equally rapidly the price managed to recover, retrace, not back to the highs yet, it seems, but definitely holding up there and looking quite comfortable. And in this week in particular, we had a huge price move, taking out the last few weeks highs over here. So we're definitely looking upwards to at least target the previous year high on this one at 12.67, with a target at least to £14. So a big target, but when this moves, it can move. And just have a quick look at the daily chart. We saw our price closed above the previous month high there on Wednesday, and held, went up to the R2 pivot, which you'd expect after R1, and then R2, as I kept mentioning today, it's a quite a formidable resistance level. Closes above it, we can see very quick price action towards potentially towards the 1270 target, the previous year high price level. But for now, we're watching this price, the 1056 price level, get a close above that. That can open up the way for further upside for us. If not, it's potentially could come back for a bit of a pullback to 957 before it moves higher again. So some levels to watch there for that one. AAA, All Active Asset Capital Limited. Big move this week. Earlier in the week, it broke up from the previous month high at 16.9. That price level was. Breaking that, heading straight to R1. Some retracement back from there from 19 pence level. Looks strong. If we just have a quick look at the weekly chart. Okay, not trading at the all-time highs yet, but there's that 31. Does look like it's got a potential shot there. But the next immediate level to watch is the 22.2 pence. Might get some retracement, could go through for move then to 28 pence or thereabouts. So some more levels there to watch. Looking strong there for AAA. Now, there were the advances for the week. Let's move over now to the stocks that have declined. We had AYM, a drop of 26.76% this week. Axis, 12%. Provident Financial, drop of 24%. Fresnillo, 9.71, just shy of 10%, and same with AO World as well, just under 10% there. So it's a quick look at the charts for those stocks. Here's AYM. We're looking at the weekly chart. So doesn't look too good for the week. It opened up quite high. Went straight to R1, couldn't hold above there, and it's closed the week in this engulfing kind of pattern for the week over here. Trend still intact. The key level to watch would be the 5.45 pence level, so one to keep an eye on. We can see over here price tried to break through or hold above the previous month high and the R1 floor pivot, but failed to do so, and it's dropped. One thing to note though, there is this doji-like reversal wick pattern over here, right at this black line, which is the previous month mid price level, which also lines up to near about the central pivot, monthly central pivot level as well. Given that pattern's over here at this key level, in both these key levels, it's an important one to keep an eye on, because the low of this, if it breaches it, 570, we could be looking potentially to move to at least the previous month low, or S1 over here at 3 pence. So that opens that up. But if it holds, it could potentially, here's the pivot here to hold 6.75, the value to watch. If it moves higher, potentially get another shot at 9 pence, with potentially looking to have a shot at 11 again. So there's that one. Next one is Axis Technologies. The week prior we had a strong move up way above the R1 pivot. Didn't quite make it to R2 and slightly come back again. At the moment, it looks like it could be a little bit more downside potentially, maybe to 134. 134 to the mid 131. Trend is very much still up, so we could see potentially this area, if price gets there, potential support for some further price action upwards. Let's have a look at the weekly chart. Yeah, so just a pullback there potentially over there, but and has come back into the previous year's range as well, so wasn't able to hold above the high of the previous 2 years. So at the moment we're trading at all-time highs with Axis, so this could quite easily turn around and continue this upward momentum. Levels up above 172 and 205, important for this year, and down the bottom as a base perhaps for support, we're looking at 116 as a level there. So some levels to keep an eye out for. Provident Financial. So the week prior, we're just closing above the central pivot there. Not much conviction in that close last week, and this week we saw the previous week low getting taken out as well. The price is now dropped further lower over here. Have to monitor this one, see if there's any further price movement down here. I think by the looks of it, price does look like it will at least go back to 256 before we can see what the next, if there's any potential support there. 266, 255, and then if it does breach the previous month low, this red line, then potentially 226 levels to watch for potential further support. At the moment though, as things stand, it does look looks okay, but we're right there at the at this trend line. So if it does break, price will easily go to 256 and potentially lower before it gets back above here, before it can resume its upward movement there. Fresnillo, well, it looks like the again, price went up to that R2 monthly pivot, so you can see why I always get wary when price reaches at that level. R2, you see a huge retracement there from the top, from 1266 down to around 1055. Has held up. This red line is the previous month low, also lines up with the S1 pivot. Looks like some initial support there potentially at the low. So we'll see how that moves forward. From a weekly perspective, not the greatest of charts, really, but still very much in an uptrend, somewhat of a channel potentially over here to keep an eye on. If we do break out of here and come back in again, then we could very easily see a move back towards 1350 to the top of the channel. So one to watch going forward. Finally, we've got AO. AO over here is trading currently. Just check if that is its all-time high at the moment. No, it just closed below it at the moment. So it's got that resistance over here, which it's been struggling with for on a few occasions. So we'll see how price develops going forward. That 440 level is key. A break of that gives us an initial target of 550. So still very much again in an uptrend there. Just a breather perhaps before it makes that move higher to 550. So there were the decliners for this week. So we'll keep an eye on those and see how they progress. I did very quickly just want to touch through on the previous week's gainers, especially Vassarian was one of those gainers we spoke about last week. as it hit the top of this channel. We said there could be, the volume looked really strong. It went to the top of this channel, and we knew that there was a very good chance for price to continue that upward momentum as it breaks this channel. And we did say we're looking for upwards level of 70 to 80 pence, which did early on in the week. Hit that central pivot at R1, and it has retraced back slightly, somewhat. The top of this channel be a key price level 57.4. If it continues to hold and makes another attempt towards 80 pence, if it breaks and holds above that, I think the next target, £1.16, wouldn't be unachievable, and takes us back into this previous price channel over here. So so definitely want to keep an eye on. Touchstone exploration, after that big move the previous week, bit of a respite perhaps over here before it continues higher, still above that R1. So the R2 pivot point for the year is still very much in play, target 204. So that 165 level is key, which is currently quite close to at the moment. And then finally, NCYT did move a bit higher, but failed to stay above the previous week high and also the previous month high. Just look at the daily chart for that one, and we can see again that R2 monthly pivot did close above it but failed to hold and has come back slightly to the previous month high. Looks like it's holding up there. So 12.94 or 13 pence, a level to watch. Potentially, if we could get back up above 14 pence, we could potentially see the continuation of that uptrend over there. So there were some of the stocks we spoke about last week's advances rather. So now we'll head over to pivotinvestor.com to run a scan. So www.pivotinvestor.com. If you haven't gone or tried it, I do highly recommend it. I would. I think it's fantastic to be able to find candid opportunities for the upcoming time period, potential opportunities for investment. So head over to the website pivotinvestor.com, and I'm going to run a new scan over here. And last week we scanned for stocks, I believe, closing above certain standard floor pivot levels. Today we'll select the A market, and we'll look for stocks with previous week's price range, and we'll look for stocks which have crossed and closed above the previous year high. So we know that bullish momentum has continued perhaps from the previous year into this year after 2 weeks of trading. So we'll have a look there. I'm going to select here the yearly pivot periods for the high, low, and close, and the mid price for the previous year. And I'll hit scan there. And this is for the AIM stocks. Shouldn't take long. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these matches. I head over to the detailed view, which gives me a view of all the different price levels. The reds here indicate price crossing above, for example, the close over here, but failing to close above it. And the blue box indicates price moving through this level, i.e. the close on this particular one, moving through the last year's close and also managing to close above it. Today we're looking for stocks which have closed above the previous year high. So Abcam is one of them over here. Just quickly have a look at that one. Switch to the weekly chart. See over here, our price is trading quite nicely between the S1 and the R1 pivot last year. Over there, 1569, made two tops, slightly retraced, and this year or this week, more in particular, it's managed to take out those highs of last year and close way above it over there at 17, currently at £17 there. Now it's been in this channel for a while over here. 1647, gone beyond that particular channel over here, this longer term channel. So if this is the break, initial upside 1783 levels to watch, and also look at that 2020 for that R2 pivot potentially. But initially it'll be interesting when it gets to 1783 to see how price reacts there. So I'll just add that to the watch list there. Also, what else is there? There's access intelligence. Tell you what, let's do something here. Let's just look for stocks where we've got a good volume, over 1 million. So now just reset the filter this now on stocks where the volume is over 1 million. There's AAA, we spoke about that earlier, with that big move this week, trading above the previous year high, and currently at that R1 pivot. That's one to watch. Arcom, or ARC Minerals Limited. Currently then trading over, looks like trading, yeah, at all-time highs at the moment, which we spoke about this. It's currently trading at the all-time highs over here. Touch that R2 pivot level, prices come back. If we do get another shot at that R2 level at 656, so if we get close above 6.5 to 7 pence, get 8.5, it's quite an easy target potentially. Huge volume this week, and you see that volume spike there for this week. So even if we do get an initial pullback perhaps to 5 pence, potentially can see price move higher from there towards 6.5, and then potentially to 8.5 over there. So that's the ARC. There's another one to add to the watch list. I want to speak about Angle actually. It's in the list here. What did it do? It closed above the previous year mid price this week. But I tweeted about it a few weeks back, to be precise, when price was around this level over here, because it lined up to this previous two occasions where it found support there, and with the influx of volume as well, looked it was a perfect buying opportunity. So from there we can see it's had a strong, looks like 3 weeks of upwards price movement there. Looks to go higher as well. So the initial upside target there is 71 pence. Still won't be to the previous year high yet, so that's the first target, with the previous year high up there at 77. So we're monitoring this, see if we get price to 71, and then take stock of the situation there. That's Angle. We'll just do one more perhaps. I know IQE has been performing really well recently. This is IQE. Been steadily going up since July last year. Price action there, and this month in particular, We'll just switch over to the weekly chart. You can see here, yes, it's it's taken out the previous year high, currently trading higher with an initial target of 92, except on the daily chart it's come across that that level, the R2 monthly pivot level, which had a brief spell above it, but then has retraced back, potentially looking for it to be supported at the previous month mid, above this price level over here at 75 is key. It does find support there and potentially have another shot at 80 and move potentially higher towards the higher level target there. So another one to watch and add to your list. So that's pivotinvestor.com and the pivot scanner. There's a chart books, there's reports. I'll have to do another video on another day, perhaps, to take you through the various features of the website. So watch out for that. So yeah, but do visit, and there's you can try the demo for free at the moment. So on pivotinvestor.com, on the top right over here, try for free and get taken straight to the membership. But you can select the free 7-day trial over here. So just click over here and away you go. So nothing to pay, free to try, nothing to lose. So look forward to welcoming you as even as trial members. So anyway, I wish you a really good week. Thank you for taking the time to listen in and watching the video. Hope you like it. Do give us a like. Do visit us on Twitter and do follow us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if there's any questions, always happy to help. Take care and thank you so much. Have a good week. Bye bye.